Hi, this is our presentation on the symbolic interactionism theory by Katie Call and Rebecca Jackson. So what is symbolic interactionism? Well, it's the way we understand and relate to our environment based on the symbols that we know or those that we learn. The symbolic interactionism theory has perhaps had the greatest impact on family studies and is widely used to this day. Many theoretical perspectives of symbolic interactionism theory are still being developed today. Now we'll discuss who has influenced symbolic interactionism theory. It's been influenced by many, but the principal scholars that we'll discuss are George Mead and Charles Cooley. George Mead believed that we learn about ourselves through interactions with others that are based on gestures, which could be anything that causes a response or reaction in another person. He also believed that there's two stages involved in this discovery of self: the playing game and anticipation of how one's behavior might affect society overall. And finally, he believed the self to be a consistent transition between I, the spontaneous, and me, the social. Next, we'll talk about Charles Cooley. Charles Cooley introduced the concept of the looking glass self, and that is how we see ourselves as a separate self, and we make assessments of how others are evaluating us. One example of this is how we view ourselves as online college students and what other people think of us as online college students. Some basic assumptions of the symbolic interactionism theory. They are that people will react to something according to the meaning that it has for them. And meanings arise out of social interactions between self and others. Our thoughts are shaped by our social interactions where we learn meanings and symbols. Patterns of action and interactions make up groups and societies. And lastly, meanings can be modified depending on an individual's interpretation of the situation. To better understand the assumptions, terms, and ideas of symbolic interactionism theory, we found a clip that will illustrate these points. In the first clip, we will see interaction, which is the social behavior between two or more people during which some type of communication takes place, causing each person to react to the situation and, as a result, modify his or her behavior. We will see social norms, which are expectations about how to act in a social situation. Roles, a set of social norms for a specific situation or part. And finally, an example of identity, the role we consider most important.
Who is it?
It's Jerry!
Jerry!
Surprise!
What is this?
Well, I felt bad about this afternoon, so I got you something.
Oh, you did? Do you guys all know Jerry? Hi, Jerry.
Yeah. Hi, Winona. Nice to see you again.
Elaine, is it your birthday?
No.
I don't need a reason to give gifts. It's my nature. I love to make people happy.
Oh, God.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ta-da! It's a cigar store Indian. Read the card.
That's very nice. Thank you very much.
Read it out loud.
I don't think so.
We had a little fight this afternoon. Let's bury the hatchet. We smoke 'em peace pie.
You know, it's late. I really should go.
I don't blame you, Winona.
Are you
out of your mind?
Oh, it's kitschy.
Winona is a Native American.
She is?
All right, did you guys catch those? Interaction, was the women's reaction to Jerry's present. They looked nervously towards Winona. And the verbal communication is when they read the card out loud. Social norms. Jerry's gift may have not been appropriate for modern days and sensitivities. The roles. Jerry was fulfilling the role of a friend, a comedian, and a man with a crush. And then finally, the identity. Winona's role as a Native American is her identity. This next clip of Seinfeld illustrates an example of a gesture.
Hey, Jerry! Look what I got!
Kramer doing the Indian call of the taxi was an illustration of a gesture. In this last clip, we will see an example of symbols, a product of social interactions, and we are not free to use symbols in any way we choose. It shows Jerry's use of words that have specific and different meanings to Native American Indians.
Where are we gonna go eat?
Ah, I thought we'd eat at the Gentle Harvest.
Ooh, I love that place, but it's usually so crowded. Can we get a table?
Oh, don't worry, I made
You made what?
I arranged for the appropriate accommodations. And then, Nick tickets, floor seats.
How did you get these?
Got him on the street from a one of those guys.
What guys?
You know, the guys that they sell the tickets to the sold-out events. Wait a second, you got the Mark McEwen TV guide.
That's Al Roker.
Oh, well, they're both chubby weathermen. I get Dom DeLuise and Paul Prudhomme mixed up, too. Could I have this?
Sure, take it.
Thanks.
This clip illustrates many symbols that Jerry used. The different words mean different things to different people. People define situations based on their own personal experiences and sense of self. Thus, two people can be in the exact same situation and have different interpretations of what's going on. As you can see in the clips, it illustrated this very beautifully, that one person can interpret something very different from another person. And that takes us back to the basic assumptions of symbolic interactionism theory, that people will react to something according to the meaning that it has for them, and meanings can be modified depending on an individual's interpretation of the situations. We hope that you have a better understanding of symbolic interactionism theory now and how it relates to our everyday lives. Here's a list of our references. Thank you.